This is Trans-Africa Radio.
It's a Foodie Friday. It's just gone 30 minutes after the hour of 3 p.m. And let's get straight into it. Hello, Kendel.
Hi, how are you?
Doing today on this Friday afternoon?
Good, very well.
Thank you so much for coming through.
Oh, thank you for having me.
This deliciousness that I see in front of me. Our cameraman right now, he's slightly hungry. Do you know what he told me? He's like, I'm not going to take lunch. That's what he told me, that I'm not.
Well,
going
there you
to
go.
take
There's
lunch.
and there's probably supper as well.
So we're getting to know a little bit more about you in terms of why you took the journey into food, what it is about food that you love, and catering.
Well, food. Who doesn't love food? Give me a break now.
Yeah.
Everybody got to eat.
That's very true.
I've always loved food since I was a little girl. Actually, I'll never forget when I was small. I got this little cookbook. When you're a kid, you get like my first cookbook, and you could make spaghetti bolognese and cute little things like that. And it just kind of grew from that.
Oh wow!
But the strange thing is that I didn't actually get into cooking immediately after finishing school. I didn't even take home ec. I did like all of the things that you should do. I took the biologies and the business stuff, and I did do a little bit of speech and drama. I won't lie, I loved that. But once I finished school, I got into finance. And we hit the credit crunch. Ooh. And I was like, oh man, but I just love to cook.
So it was basically your release from everything
really
that
was.
happened from a 9 to 5.
Well, that's the thing. I used to actually, at one stage, I was staying in like a commune with some guys. I was the only chick there. And I would cook dinner every single night.
Weren't they happy?
Oh, they were. We all got fat.
So from culinary school, you got into your first job. How was your first job outside of the comfort of being in a culinary kitchen at school?
Sure, it was quite difficult. I started working at a restaurant in Sanson on Nelson Mandela Square, and I was pretty much thrown in the deep end. Their kitchen manager / head chef was pregnant, and she had to go on maternity leave. So they brought me in, and I basically had to step in and fill in to her shoes. So it was quite a thing. And she went on maternity leave and just didn't come back and didn't come back and didn't come back. So I ended up working there for, it was almost a year, running the show. It was a huge eye-opener for me, because I was just thrown in there, and I had to it was sink or swim. You either make it or break it, and I learned so much. I actually think it was probably the best experience I could have had, because it really gave me the sense of not only the kitchen aspects and the food, but the business side of things. Yeah. So it was hectic. It was very, very difficult, but it was a road worth being traveled.
Do you remember like a complete disaster day that you had?
Yeah. Oh my word. So there was one day, I'll never forget, it was so bad. All the commie chefs under me, they were just screwing up, and we were so busy. It was hectically busy, and I was just throwing Gordon Ramsay on their backsides.
Ooh.
It was hectic. And eventually, like, no one was listening, and I was like, stop. Just stop what you're doing. These are the orders. What are we doing about these orders? Who's doing what? Because you guys need to get in line here. And then I had someone from one of the waiters come in and say one of the customers has complained because I was screaming so loud. So I thought, oh no.
So it was a proper kitchen nightmare episode.
Yeah, it was a proper kitchen nightmare. A proper. But, the whole thing is, as soon as you just say, stop, take a break, like,
breathe.
Take a deep breath, let's see where we are, and then get going again, then it all just comes into place and it all starts working again.
And being a woman in this male-dominated industry, and you being the kitchen manager there, how was the respect and that you got from other individuals? Did they respect you because you were good at your job as Kendel, or they were just like, she's just a woman?
It was very difficult in the beginning. It really, really was hard to get in there, especially when, guys that are also older than you start telling you, no, you have to assert yourself. And that's another lesson learned.
Because you may just look like
you've actually just got to, yeah, exactly. You end up looking like that.
Yeah.
So you just end up having to just put your big girl pants on, get in there and get going. And it worked. It really did.
Started eating without me.
Come and have a snack.
Wow, apparently started eating without. I haven't even tasted anything, so don't worry. So you learned a lot, saying basically you had to be assertive, you had to be sure of yourself in this industry.
Definitely.
Make sure that these people don't walk all over you.
You can't allow that, because as soon as you start, that's the end of it.
That's the end of it.
Give them a finger, they'll take an arm.
That's so true. That is so very true. And then let's talk about you getting started with your business, Two Little Tarts.
Ah, yes, my love.
What made you want to become your own boss?
Well, I enjoyed being in the restaurant industry, but it's very difficult when it's not your own.
Yeah.
Especially the particular restaurant I was in, there wasn't that kind of love and adoration for the restaurant that I really wanted. And so I just thought to myself, I really want to do something on my own, but I much prefer the function side of things, because there's so much more that can be done. It's not only the food, it's the whole function. It's just fun, let's be honest. I mean, and then I have to be frank, the restaurant industry is very, very difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 24/7, 7 days a week. I mean, you really don't stop. And at that point in time, I was also looking at getting married and possibly having a kid. So I had to decide, what was going to be the best balance for me. And catering is really awesome because you pick your functions. You can work your days. You have a lot more freedom, but it is a lot harder, I think, because you don't have that guaranteed, the feet coming into the restaurants and things like that. So it's a lot harder, but it just suits me.
Would you go back into the restaurant industry, restaurant part of hospitality, if you were like, you know what, I've had my kids, I've chilled with my husband,
You know what?
Yeah.
I think I would. Funny enough, I wouldn't mind one day having like a B&B with a restaurant on it as well. I think that would really suit me because I love hosting people. It's just something, every year I host a Christmas in July function, which is a really, really awesome thing for charity that we do, especially, considering it's Mandela month and you have Mandela Day. And I basically get friends, family around, and we have a whole meal that we do. People pay some money, we collect, and then whatever profits are made and what donations are brought in, I give to a charity of my choice. And we started doing that, and then of course it's a big party, so you have people staying over, and then you end up making breakfast in the morning. And I was like, I quite like the idea of the whole chocolate on the pillow thing. People love to come and stay over at my place now. So I wouldn't mind doing that in the future.
Kendel the homemaker. Like, look, I'm coming over to your house for a party and just sleeping, placing my head on the sofa there.
Come for Christmas in July. Then at least you'll do something good for charity as well.
Definitely. So definitely will come through. How long has the business been running? And like some of the ups and downs that you've experienced, what has been like your worst catering day, if you ever remember?
Okay. Well, I registered in 2011, but at that point in time, I was also still half and half. I was working at the restaurant and I was just trying to get things up. And I went full time with the business in 2012. And yeah, it just kind of took off from there. Everything has really been word of mouth. But disaster, I had a wedding once, and it was just when I was starting out.
Ooh.
And it was wait, it was 120 people.
Yeah.
It was done at the Walter Sisulu Botanical Gardens, and they've got like a venue sort of just outside the gardens, but there's literally a stove there that's this tiny 4-plate stove. I can't even fit the trays that I keep my food into the oven. So I had to make a plan. So I did. I went and I got gas fries and everything. I cooked most of the food at my house, brought it all through. And I didn't even have like a decent car then. So I had like people coming to help me, taking stuff in their boots. And we brought it all through. Everything amazingly went so well. I mean, it was an absolute phenomenal event. But at the end of it, we had these waiters. Now, I asked very nicely if I could obviously organize the staff, because then at least I bring in people that I trust.
Yeah.
But she had a whole bunch of like family friends that she wanted to use as waiters.
Family friends?
Yes. So they came in as the waiters and they all ended up getting drunk. So here I was like between the kitchen.
Oh my gosh.
Between the kitchen and running into the venue I was literally clearing tables.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it was insane. And then at the end of the evening, I mean, we did everything we had to do, and off we went. At the end of the function, we went home, and about a week later I got a phone call. They had like a beautiful sweet display, and these drunk kids had stolen all of the sweets and they blamed it on us.
You.
So I got this phone call like, we're really upset because you stole all of these sweets from our venue. And I was like, you're kidding me, right? Not only did I do the job of your waiters and give you the most phenomenal meal that everyone raved about, but now I've stolen your sweets. I was like, great, thanks.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I wasn't too happy with that, but at least I actually knew some of the people at the wedding, and they were like, no, Kendel would never do that, so sorry, you've got the wrong person. And I mean, when we left, I even told the maid of honor, I was like, please, the sweets are in there, watch them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was a nightmare.
And in the beginning of everything of your business.
Yes.
So like that is, oh my gosh. And you were able to like get yourself up and continue on to the next event so that this thing doesn't affect you and your business at the end of the day.
You have to. It's just one of those things. You got to pick yourself up and keep going.
I'd slap a person. Like, I really would after that. So you're going to get to know a little bit more about your company, Two Little Tarts, as to what you do, what you can offer us besides great food and a great personality as well. So stay tuned to Utopia on a Foodie Friday. We're talking to Kendel Van Katwijk.
Yeah. Nice.
She has brought through some beautiful food. We're also going to be tasting, you heard the boss lady. Who ate before her? Nobody. Don't worry. Nobody.
So I've got the pasta over there. It's called Kendel's Famous Pasta. It was Kendel's pasta, but then it just started getting requested quite often, so we decided to dub it Kendel's Famous Pasta. It's my own recipe.
What's in it? What's in this recipe?
Sun-dried tomatoes, cream, bacon, deliciousness. There is a little bit of spice up in there, but it's not hot. It's just a little. Just to give it a bit of a kick.
Just remember me.
And then over there we've got a farm-style apricot chicken casserole.
Ooh, apricot and chicken is one of my favorite things in life.
Yeah, that one's always a winner. Yes. I mean, chicken goes down with pretty much everyone. It's so easy to do, and I've actually brought the recipe for everyone to.
So we're going to get a recipe of the chicken?
Yes.
Okay. I'm excited.
So yeah, you guys can make it at home. It's a really, really simple dish to make, and it's just an all-time favorite. Quick and easy and absolutely divine.
Okay. And then I see some dessert.
Well, I can't be a tart and not bring you tarts. So I had to bring some tarts. We got a pecan nut tart, lemon meringue, and we got an apple tart.
I love apple. I love lemon meringue. Nuts have never been my thing in life, but the older I'm becoming,
give it a try.
The older, the more I grow in life, the more I actually like these things called peanuts and nuts and everything.
I love nuts. You know how nice nuts are in dishes, especially when you have your Thai stir fries and things like that. Just throw in some nuts. And a salad, you will not believe. You know what really lifts a salad?
Yeah.
Peanut brittle. Go and buy yourself some peanut brittle and crumble that in your salad. The sweetness, the crunchiness, it's absolutely phenomenal. It completely revolutionizes the salad.
I have a new thing for, definitely. So,
Tips.
Tips, definitely. While I am getting myself like a plate can you share with us your recipe for the chicken?
Definitely.
Yes, please.
Okay, well, for the apricot chicken, it's a really, really easy one. All you'll need is some chicken pieces, some onions, some garlic. I always like to put baby carrots and green beans in, so we keep it nice and healthy. And then what you do is you're going to whack your onions into, I like to use a wok personally, because I just think it's so much easier and so much nicer to do it in. So you put some onions in there, fry it off with some garlic. I always put the baby carrots in first as well, because they do take a little bit long to cook. Once that's been going for a minute or two, you can add your chicken pieces, sprinkle a good lot of Robertson's chicken spice on there.
Yeah.
Thyme, fresh thyme if you can,
Please.
that's always good. Then I always put black pepper and salt. And then you put 3 very, very big, helpful tablespoons full of apricot jam.
Super fine.
Super fine.
Okay.
And just whack that on top. Then let that simmer away for a little bit. You don't want it to catch the bottom. So if you need to add a little bit of water in there, you're going to let that go for about 15-20 minutes, depending on the size of your chicken pieces. Once you can see the chicken is starting to brown nicely and you've turned it a bit, then add in your green beans and some cream just to finish it off. If you need to thicken the sauce, you can do that with a little bit of maizena, and then just taste it. See if you need a little bit more salt or pepper in, but let me tell you, it's easy and it's such a winner.
You got all technical there. Mazena's cornstarch.
Yes, cornstarch. Sorry, cornstarch.
Mazena's cornstarch, don't worry. I've done that before and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, just to thicken it a little bit. But, often it's quite good, because obviously if you let it cook off a little bit, it thickens itself. So.
And what would you serve that with personally?
Rice. I mean, just good old rice. That's the best way to have it. If you really want to add in some baby potatoes, that always makes it quite good. But I like to keep it simple and have
simple
a little bit of rice.
Makes it simple. The simplest dishes are sometimes the best dishes in life.
If you overcomplicate it, sometimes you just get a little bit too much.
Okay.
Good. I'm glad.
And the sad thing is that I'm supposed to be off of carbs, but I couldn't resist.
How can you be off carbs when you have
Because summer's here. Summer bodies are made in winter.
It's the truth.
Do you know what someone said to me? As long as your body's in summer, then it's a summer body.
I like that one.
And I'm very happy that I did not resist.
Thank you.
People can get hold of me at info@twolittletarts.co.za.
Okay.
It's the word two, the word little, and the word tarts. Then you can also have a squiz at my stuff on Facebook. My page is 2 Little Tarts, but that's with the number 2.
Okay.
And that's the best place to get hold of me. And then people can also just call me.
So when are you getting Instagram?
I think I'd better step my game up.
Just a little bit, so you can see a whole lot.
I've just been told how behind I am. Okay, so the next thing is you'll be able to get hold of me on Instagram soon.
Thank you. Your favorite food destination so far?
Okay, so I've been very privileged in my life. I have been able to travel all over Europe, and I've been to America and I've been to Australia.
Okay. Route 66, America.
I wish. No.
my gosh.
I only went to a small section in California and San Francisco. But I must say, strangely enough, my favorite food destination is Melbourne, Australia.
What happened there?
They have beer battered chips. And I'm sorry, but it was like a tipping point in my life where something just flicked in my head. We had the most... It's a very arty city.
So wait, you had the best starch in life.
Yes. It was like
best starch in
the
life.
best starch in life. So we had these awesome, I mean, it was absolutely phenomenal. You sit like a very European feel to it. You kind of have these street cafes, and you sit outside with a beer in hand, and we ordered these pork sliders. I mean, they were gourmet to the max, absolutely divine, and they were on the side were these beer battered chips. And when I heard it first, I was like, I have to try this. And let me tell you, it's changed my life.
Beer battered
Favorite chips.
starch.
Absolute, ultimate. It's the bomb.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like,
Changed
I
my
need
life,
to try that in my life.
Changed my life.
Okay, so Your contact details again, because definitely I'm contacting you.
Well, you can get hold of me. Pop me an email, info@twolittletarts.co.za. It's the word two, word little, and word tarts. Otherwise, you can check me out on Facebook. It's the number 2, the word little, the word tarts.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It was really great to be here today.
It was so great, filling this tummy in life.
I'm so glad that you enjoyed it.
The boss lady's happy outside. Tando is happy. Sbo is happy. Our cameraman.
Well, there you go. As long as you're all happy, and please give me a call if you want any functions. It's my absolute passion.
Oh, and one last thing. What does food mean to you?
Food equals love. It is an absolute passion, and I don't think anyone can live without good food.
That's it. She said it.
This is Trans-Africa Radio. This is Trans-Africa Radio.